Welcome to the 50th episode of the Addison County Country Minute. I'm your host, Well Den Opinionated, and as always, a continued celebration of Don Harron. And if you don't know who he is, shame on you. Head over to Hee-Haw, check him out on KORN Radio. Our inspiration for doing this when we can. Yeah. And speaking of 50, does that mean we can sign up for AARP and start getting all those bennies? Oh, probably not. Oh, well. Well, it's that time of year again. You fellers and lady LLers knows what I'm speaking to. You guesses it. Oh boy. Everything turning to pumpkin spice. You got your Cheerios, cookie mix, coffee, eggnog, dog treats, and dare I say, poopery. Oh, what? Enough to drive me bonkers, I tell ya. Maple syrup? Sure. Pumpkin spice? Not so much. Well, we here at ACCM have our very own pumpkin spice newer scented candles. Yeah. Nothing says fall like a good old-fashioned bringing the burn home with a hint of spice. And if you call in the next 50 seconds, we have a special deal just for you. We're running a bog-off. That's right. Buy one, get one free. Farmy is standing by. Get them while they're still warm, fellas. Well, we here today have the top 10 You Know It's Fall in Vermont, ... Yeah. Here we go. Listen up. Number 10. Road construction is still happening. Yeah. Number 9. How long can you freeze before you load the darn wood stove for the first time? We've all been there. Yep. Number 8. When all the camo clothes at the Walmart are sold out. Yeah, good sign. Number 7. When you can't fit another vehicular in the parking lot down there at the Rack and Reel. Not even with a shoehorn. Yeah. Number 6. When you see bumper-to-bumper tour buses full of them Flatlanders peeping those darn purty dead leaves. You know it's fall. Number 5. All the corn's being cut and the farmer's spreading s'more manure. You guesses it. Number 4. When the changeover tires at the repair station are stacked higher than Mount Philo. I've seen that. Number 3. You switch from heat to AC in the same day and back again. Yeah, we've all done that, haven't we? Yep. Number 2. Every school in the county has a craft fair, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. Spend that money. All right, and the number 1, you know it's fall in Vermont. You're wearing a winter coat and shorts at the same time. Yep, there you go, top 10. Yeah. All right, on to the news. Yep. Well, old Betty Anne and Jubile have been married and lived on their farm together for over 40 years. Jubile noticed that his wife seemed to have trouble hearing him lately and became concerned. He started thinking she might need to be tested for those hearing aids. Not quite sure how to approach the subject with Betty Anne, he called the family doctor to discuss the problem. The doctor told him there's a simple test he can do to give the doctor a better idea about her hearing loss. He says, here's what you do. Stand about 40 feet away from her and in regular speaking tone, see if she hears you. If not, go 30 feet, 20 feet, and so on until you get a response. So that evening, Betty Ann was in the kitchen cooking dinner and Jubile was in the living room watching the tube. He thought to himself, I'm about 40 feet away. Let's see what happens. Honey, what's for dinner? No response. So he moves closer to the kitchen, about 30 feet from the wife, and says again, "Honey, what's for dinner?" Still no response. Then he moves into the dining room where he's about 20 feet away, asks again, "Honey, what's for dinner?" Again, no response. So he walks right up to the kitchen door about 10 feet away. "Honey, what's for dinner?" And again, there's still no response. So he walks right up behind her and says, "Honey, what's for dinner?" This time she turns to face him with fire in her eyes and says in a sharp tone, "For Pete's sake, Jubile, for the 5th time, fried chicken!" Oh, boys, hair loss. Oh, boys lost it. Oh. Anyway, another news. On the outskirts of Waltham, there's this big old apple tree just inside cemetery fence. One day, 2 boys filling up a bucket full of apples sat down by the tree. Out of sight, began dividing the bushel. "One for you, one for me. One for you, one for me," said one boy. Several of the apples dropped and rolled down toward the fence. As they were dividing them up, another youngster came riding along on his bicycle. As he passed, he thought he heard some voices from inside the cemetery. He slowed down to investigate. Sure enough, he heard, "One for you, one for me, one for you, one for me." In an instant, he knew what it was. He jumped back on his bike and raced to find someone to tell him about it. Just around the bend, he met an old feller with a cane, hobbling along. "Come here quick," said the boy. "You won't believe what I just heard. The devil and God are down the cemetery dividing up the souls." The old man says, "Beat it, kid. Can't you see it's hard for me to walk?" When the boy insisted, the man hobbled slowly to the cemetery. Standing by the fence, they heard, "One for you, one for me. One for you, one for me." The old man whispered, "Boy, you've been telling me the truth this whole time. Let's see if we can see God." Shaken with fear, they peered through the fence, yet were still unable to see anything. The old man and the boy gripped those iron bars, bent tighter and tighter as they tried to get a glimpse of God. At last they heard, "One for you, one for me, that's all. Now let's go get those bad apples down by the fence and we'll be done." Oh boy. They say the old man had to lead for a good half mile before the kid finally passed him on his bike. Oh, he bumped right along, oh feller. Yeah. Anyway, tune in next week for another fast-paced, exciting, informative episode. And remember, money talks, but all mine ever says is goodbye.